Happy Wednesday night, you guys. What's going on? As soon as you press the live button, I think it takes a second to get everybody a notification. So let me go up here to my monitor here and I'll get all set up. And we'll do some card stuff, all right? So what's going on, you guys? Happy Wednesday night, man. You guys aren't stuck doing Valentine's Day stuff? Not yet? What's going on? I figured I'd have 0 viewers tonight because all the gentlemen out there, taking care of your significant others. What's going on, you guys? What's up, Joey? Good to see you, dude. Oh, you guys, I hope you're having a good week, man. Anybody got anything to celebrate? Or anything you need some, good vibes on? Man, you got a room full of good people here, so if you got something good to share or... you need some support, throw it up there, man. We'll give you some good mojo. But tonight we'll have fun. And tonight I'm going to keep it. Not everything takes forever. That's one of another great things about Card Care. I was looking over the past few lives, and I always have this competitive side to myself where I'm like, must do better than last week. And I realize, well, what does that even mean? Am I trying to impress myself or am I trying to help other people out? You know what I mean? So I think it's all important, but sometimes it's just my style to go grand at every turn, you know what I mean? So it's annoying if I look over here, you guys, I apologize. I'm trying to do some questions too. See, the ladies know it's important. If I found this true. If you support stuff that your wife likes and, they typically support what you like back, you know what I mean? So it is a good give and take. So in 15 years of marriage, I've learned that. But it's hard because I'm a selfish pain in the ass, so it took me a while to learn that one. But happy Wednesday, you guys. And God, what a score, dude. I'm reading a story here. Pop won. Becco breaks. You got some good news to share. Tell us about it. But let's do this, you guys. What I wanted to do tonight, and let me see if there's anything good I can tell you. Oh, I'll post this tomorrow. I don't know from the guys watching right now if you remember this, but I don't expect you to remember. I'm sure you see a million cards every day, but it was about 4 weeks ago exactly. I had the PSA 7 Chet Holmgren. I think we even did it on the show. We got it graded and it got a PSA 7. If anybody remembers that. Anyways, I... clean that card up. I got a 7. I'm like, what the hell is this? I'm like, maybe there might have been a print line on it or something like that. But I mean, what modern era card doesn't have a print line on it? You know what I mean? So, anyways, we opened it up. I did it with you guys, and we got the video's got 40,000 views, so it got a lot of hits. And so what do we do? I just cracked it out, polished up the front because there was nothing else to do to it. I already prepped the card, and there was no issues. And if I'm gonna send in a modern card, I gotta hope it's gonna be a 10. I mean, if it gets a 9, whatever. But anything outside of that is kind of weird. So, sorry about my stammering. Got the picture today of the grade. PSA 10. It went from a PSA 7 to a PSA 10. And I've documented it all, so I'll drop you guys a video tomorrow. But it's just one of those things where it's a reminder. And this is not a thing where it's like, hey, let's all rip on PSA. PSA does a good job. They overall do a good job. And, they help at least help our cards maintain a value, where it's not super debatable. It's like a 9 sells for this. So I appreciate PSA. But my point is, if you get a card back, when I was early to grading cards, I would get a card back sometimes. And I don't know if I ever was conscious of this or unconscious of it, but I was like, it's a 8 forever. No, it's not. It was just what that person picked at that moment on that day. So if you don't agree with the grade, trust your gut and crack the thing out and go for a higher score. It's your card. You have every right to do whatever you want to your card, So PSA 7 to a PSA 10, I'll post that video tomorrow, but you guys will get a kick out of it. And you guys, thanks for all the love and support and just being freaking kick-ass people to work with and work for. So I appreciate you guys. All right, well, let's do this, all right? Yeah, I got... what was it? B-Mantle07 sent me a picture today of a Nolan Ryan card. Everybody loves soaking cards, right? It's fun, it's the thing. So, but it's needed for cards that are 2s, So he sent me a Nolan Ryan card that he cleaned up, and he showed me the spray, and I thought he got Nolan Ryan's urine sample or something, because it was a pretty grody card. That or a couple packs of Marlboro Reds that he soaked out of it, But so, anyways, let's get to it, you guys. Good evening, glad to have you, and we're gonna do some edge and corner stuff tonight. You guys know how many things you can do cool with cards with a straw and this? Seems like it's like sometimes, man, I'm like getting out the microscope, and we're getting into humidity, and we're mixing it up, But like this and this can do a lot. Like, you got to use this too. You got to use your brain, but like these two things can do a lot. It's like, I think it's fun, and like, I thrive off you guys. I think we have a good relationship that way, and sometimes I'll look for like the most beat up stuff. Yo, Josh, love you back, man. What's up, Gare? I'll look for the most beat up stuff because it's like, it's fun viewing. It's like, if we're gonna hang out on Wednesday nights and do a live show together, might as well like see something fun or unique. I mean, like, the performer in me always wants to make sure you have a good time, and it's like you're glad you came. But really, some stuff's really small and really easy to fix, but it's like big. So like, when we're talking about a card that's like super like beat, that's one thing. But there's a lot of cards that are like in that 8-ish range where you need to get them into a 9 or a 10, especially if you're a card dealer, or you enjoy buying and selling and trading. And sometimes it's like, the cool thing about collecting is like a lot of our collectibles are fluid because they move. Because like, if you were just loaded, you can just go out and buy everything. I don't even think collecting would be fun if you were super duper rich. I think you'd just be able to buy everything. So like, that sweet spot is being able to network and buy and sell and trade. So your collection's always moving. But in order to get it and then to moving and stuff you want, you got to be able to make some of these cards not just a vintage 2 to a 3, which is freaking awesome and fun. But sometimes you got to get a modern card from like a 8 to a 9, or like I just did with that Chet thing I was telling you about today, a 7 to a 10. So let's get busy. We're gonna use these things, and most common things, like edges and corners will get you. And there's a lot of things that you're never going to be able to do, unfortunately. And you probably know that if you spend any time working on cards, I do get that sometimes, Steve, where somebody says my voice will get like weird on here. I think it just might be the internet connection. So stay with me. All right. So stay with me. So my point is, we're going to do some stuff tonight that's fairly simple, fairly easy, and it's good to get, like, fix a little thing. Because I'll have, guys in the community, and when I say guys, I mean guys, girls, whatever, the crew, the collectors is what I'm talking about. So, like, I'll get a picture sent to me, and it'll be like, hey, Kurt, this is a 9. Should I crack it and resubmit it? Which, I'm not picking on you for saying that, but, like, here's what I'm saying. I don't know. Like, when you got a 9, you got to try to identify what's wrong. What's wrong? Like, why isn't it a 10? Because I can't just say crack it out and, like, do some stuff over it for 3 minutes and then it should, like, come out perfect. Like, it's even harder to work on a 9 to a 10 than, like, a 2 to a 4 or 2 to a 5. It's harder once you almost paint yourself into a corner when you're working on a 9 or a 9.5. Sometimes there aren't even anything to work on, and you just go, what the hell did they see here? Let's just resubmit this card, which is cool, but you got to find it. If you're looking for something and you find one little thing, that's when you got to say to yourself, all right, I see the issue. Can I fix it? So I'm going to do that. Little things tonight, all right? So let me read through here, and I'm going to try to answer as many questions as I can, you guys. Asini, you sound stoned. Just talking slow, you know what I mean? I tell you what, on these school days where all my kids are up early and I'm up early, I probably had over 100 emails and private messages, and probably 100 emails today and probably over 120 private messages. So I tell you what, man, there's times where I get to the night and I'm like, push through, stay awake, you know what I mean? So, all right, here we go. Let's do this. All right, guys, so let me flip this thing around. We'll get started, and we will see what we can come up with here. Let me get my desk where I need to get it. And here's a nice thing. A raisable and lowerable desk is a very cool thing. That's weird that Instagram speeds and slows up my voice. It's weird. I already have a deep voice to begin with, so if it makes it any worse, it's going to probably sound terrible. Hey, Matt, I cannot explain the soaking process right now, but if you go to my Instagram page or my YouTube page, I have playlists set up. It's going to be mainly on vintage cards, and feel free to dig in, brother. I got it available for you to watch anytime you want. So I want to save the Griffey, but here's the type of stuff that I want to work on tonight. Little imperfections, little corner stuff, fingernail stuff, like stuff that sucks, stuff like that. They're like, nah. That's the one with the bloody arm. I noticed that there's like a little bit of residue on this card too, so we won't get stuck on that. But I want to work on stuff like that tonight. So if you guys have anything like this, grab it. Get it out. Like, you can do this with me tonight. We're kind of do like a teaching session. And then, it's the bloody Griffey. Look at, isn't that funny? There's my old guys. There's Dan. Right, Dan? Look at, there it is. There's the bloody arm. That was a thing on this Griffey card. They made like the second batch where they covered up his bloody arm, but it's the OG bloody arm Griffey. And then, like, these cards these are hard to work on. I love SP cards, but like, you see how like we got shiny here, we got dull, super easy to mess up paper there. These cards, like, I get emails and messages from collectors every day with these things saying, "Hey Kurt, what should I do?" So if that's you, man, you're watching the right show tonight. It's not always a super bent up card, and the answer is not to soak everything. I know you guys love that, but it's not the right answer for everything. Like, I'd have somebody send me a picture like this. I'd be like, "Hey Kurt, you see that little bump? Think I should soak this whole card?" I'm like, no, don't soak that whole card. But that was funny. All right, so I read I read the messages, but I can only make jokes to myself. You know what I mean? So, hey, Dan, I'm glad, man, to hear about those profits, dude. Good job. Time well spent, man. Very good. All right. Well, let's get going, you guys. Let me show you what we're gonna do here first. So, here's what I want to do. I want to get a good view, and I want to get I want to use a plate here, okay? So with the plate, it just creates a nice firm kind of like backbone for the card, right? So I want to get good lighting on here for you guys so you can see what I'm trying to teach here. And that's too much light. I'm trying to get some light up in here. Well, here, I'll pick it up. That's what I want to try to do. See, we all can see that, right? Oh, yeah, that's even worse from that side. I got tons of cards with crap on them like this. So here's what I want to do. All right, so you're the man, Danny. I appreciate you, brother. So here's what I want to do, guys. Like if you've been around Kurt's Card Care for a while, I use a variety of like things for common issues. I'll use my card spray. I'll use humidity. Sometimes, you guys, the best dang little mix of like humidity comes just right out of the straw. What I want to do here first is I want to determine a couple things, like where did it get hit from? Like, clearly on the top, but sorry about the crappy focus, you guys. I'm trying to make it the best I can. All right, so trust me, if it's having a hard time focusing, I've got a nasty ding right there, and I'm going to try to get it out. So I want to use the straw, and I want to put some warm breath. I'm just using my breath to aim right there, because if I just went in here right now, and started using the card tool, it would probably be okay. But I don't want to make this top coat any shinier. Here's the tricky part, you guys. When you get good at this type of stuff, you start paying attention to every little thing. So like, if I put too much pressure on this type of surface, it's going to shine it. So the reason that I'm gonna, and it will look like tampered with. So since I like to return everything to like new looking, that shiny stuff's not gonna work for this type of restoration. So I'm gonna try to just use my breath to make it a little bit softer. Then I'm gonna come right in and with a light amount of pressure, just use my little card tool here. And I'm just gently coming up towards the edge. Not using really force, I'm just making contact. So listen to that part again. I'm not making force, or I'm not using force, I'm just making a little contact. I do not want to push down on this type of surface or it's going to look like crap. I'm going to screw it up. Not bad for like 2 swipes, huh? Now let's look at the top because there's still a chip in there. All right, let's see if we can fix up the back. The problem with the back is, you guys, I might be missing a little touch of paint up there. So let me. Oh yeah. Oh Danny, I'm full of hot air. You get me talking about cards. Here we go. So I like humidity on these guys because if I use card spray, which I don't mind making this card a little bit sacrificial if we want to, but if I put card spray on this card, it gets too puffy too quick. Check that out. That worked out better than I thought. I was sitting here talking. See, the hot air in me. I was sitting here yakking, and I didn't realize that actually... Okay, now we got a little bit of a nail mark on the top. It's like usually I use the iPhone, I don't know what it is, 13 or something like that. It just seems like it's having a hard time focusing. So sorry, guys. It's annoying. All right, so if I can get it to focus, there we go. Let's not move now. Top part. So there's a tiny little, I still got a little like nail mark right there, okay? So what I want to do is I'm not going to, even though it's tempting to put like a little dot of spray on there, which, you know, if we got the plan B, we could always attempt it. Usually just some air, some humidity from my breath will get that to work for us. Stay with me, and we're gonna just do the same thing. Just a light make contact across that top edge, and we had that shadow from that. All right, that better? Can you guys see that edge now? I'll take some pictures and stuff like that. But let's work on the bottom. I got the same type of stuff going on right there. Might just be a little bit easier to focus down there. All right. So it's like pretty severe. But let's try to work our magic on it. So I want to start with the top. So again, not major stuff we're working on tonight. We're working on little minor stuff that will chew up points off of your cards if you want to get them graded. Or just have them look their best, all right? So let's try this. No, I don't have anything. What I do, you guys, like for the zoom, it's just my fingers. I'm just pinching it. I just do a little pinch zoom. That's like what... You can't really use much Apple stuff once you go on Instagram Live. It's like the Instagram controls take over. But, okay, this is a good angle. See those? That's what I'm trying. I want to get those dents out of there. So let's just do one at a time. This is a paper finish, very soft card. So I stress to you guys, just get out a few cards like to test with and just get comfortable with this, because I've had collectors say to me, "Hey man, Kurt, I'm nervous to work on edges and corners," and I think the only reason I think that you get nervous is if you just haven't done it enough yet. So like, just get good with this thing. Really, guys, I like this because you're just using. I like to have little hard to reach spots. Like this little tubing right there is fantastic. I love that little area, and then it's versatile, so you can use it in a few ways. But like, check that out. Is that a good view? Look at that one's gone, right? We still got that one. But if I can just use that little touch point, and we'll try to get that edge corrected too. But so far, what I want to show you is the top. So come down that top edge with me. See it? So let's see if we can get that other one out of there. All right. So back to the straw method here. And what's up, David? Good to see you, buddy. And Dave, I get shaky hands too, so I always have to like plant. So I got like my thumb planted on the disc. I have this finger planted, so I have like a base. So if you guys see what I'm doing, I'm not just delicately holding my hand in the air. I always lock it. Like when I play guitar, like this is my picking hand. I'll always like lock my pinky on the guitar or my finger on the guitar just so I have like a point to stay. And I bring that over to like holding the card tools, just like make a little comfort zone, and then you can get crap off edges like that. Isn't that cool? So look at that. That's a good angle, right? Isn't that cool? Just using that little tool, man, will get you guys a nice flat edge. And a good part of that is from the warm breath too, man. You guys, if anybody, and let me turn that around real quick. So I hope that I was kind of struggling with the focus there. But what I'm trying to show you guys is now the edges, there's going to be probably little nail marks in these edges. So what we're going to do next is I'll turn this back around, and I'm going to probably have to, well, let me just look at it. It's hard for you guys to see it. Actually, it's not bad. How funny is that? Just putting humidity on these edges. And I try to do everything in front of the phone, you guys, because like I always want to show you the stuff that I do. But I'll hold a card like this too, and it doesn't have to be on a desk. I'll hold a card and hit it with like humidity like that. Hit it with a straw like that. Just hold it in front of me. And you can literally like watch it in front of your eyes on some of these paper cards. Just that humidity in your breath will activate that paper and just bring it back up into place a little bit. It's pretty remarkable. But I think you get the point, right? So that is that. And then thank you guys for asking. I know that if you're new to watching Kurt's Card Care, hey, I'm Kurt. Thanks for taking some time tonight to check it out. My products are available on my website. It's kurtzcardcare.com. All right. So we're working on some edges and corners right now. All right. So I want to turn this back around, and I want to show you a couple cool things. We're going to do a couple things. So hang tight. And I promised you earlier, I'm not going to keep you guys all night. But I got some cool stuff I want to show you. All right? So let me just jump up my board real quick, guys. I want to... Hey, good point. We had somebody write, hey, I'm a newbie here. When I handle my cards, I wash my hands done and dry them in good and grab the cards by the edges. Absolutely, man. Always have super clean hands. Here's another thing, guys. Cut your fingernails short. You can't have long fingernails when you work on cards. You will absolutely do something crazy. You'll mess it up. So don't have long nails. That's another one. All right. So I'm gonna show you something real quick, guys. If I still have iPhone's working a little bit better. You can still see a little bit of a crease or a little bit of a touch in there. And on the back of these, it's still pretty rough down here. So when that's the case, yes, you could still, do some humidity treatments in there and stuff like that. But I'm just going to show you something real quick. You can use a little bit of card spray. And you guys, this is a little art tool called a Tortillon. It's good for transferring moisture to hard to reach places. And this being one of those spots, what I'll do is I'll touch the open edges there A little touch of moisture. We'll get that top one too. And that, when you can transfer a little touch of moisture like that, you guys, it will get those indents to rise up. I know I did it quickly, you guys, and it's because I've done it a lot. So what I want you to do is just practice this move, okay? Sometimes you'll have to come back and touch it a couple times, but it'll pop right back up into place typically. It's like, I think the card always wants to go back to its natural position, but when it's just like packed down like that, it's not going to rise up on its own. So you just need to give it a little love and it will pop up, or a little card spray. See, I could keep working on those, you guys, but you see how it's coming up and coming out? That's how you do it. Now, but here's a key part. Don't keep on packing moisture in there, okay? Like this one right now, I'm not touching this one anymore. We can take a look at it at the end of the show. But I was able to transfer a little bit of moisture on there. You don't want to keep going, because if you do it too much, you're just going to like get it wet. So like, I think that one could take a little bit more. I'm just barely touching the side of this tool to it. But that will make that edge and stuff look a lot better. So let's look at the light. Top looks good. That top edge looks pretty darn good. And then those ones at the bottom. All right, so practice that. It's easy, you guys. Just ding up some cards and work on it. But that's really stuff that will hold you back. And now I want to bring in something different, okay? So if anybody here likes comics, you're not alone. I love Marvel, and this was like one of the early sets that got me into collecting cards. And it was in 1992, so I was like 11, 12 years old. And it was about, I think like a year ago, we opened this on the live show. And what the problem was, you guys, is I have a lot of these. They like brick together. And in the past week, I've had a lot of collectors reach out to me and say, hey, Kurt, what do you do when you like open up 90s basketball cards or like anything that are all stuck together? Well, you can just try to pop them apart, which, you know, sometimes you just have to, but I don't think that should be plan A. I think that should be like maybe plans B or C. So I want to show you something. So I took, let's get some room in here. And we're going to stick around, you guys. We're going to do the Ken Griffey Jr. here to wrap up the show here. But I want to do some Marvel stuff first. And we'll let LeBron kind of hang out. Even though that we just barely tapped those edges, you guys, I'm just going to let them sit and just like dry. It's not really wet, but there's a little bit of moisture in there, and that should kick those little nail marks out. I'll take a picture tomorrow too, so you guys can just see what it looks like. But it works well. So just pick that one up and use it and practice it. So like what I need to do is make some room because I want to bring in my humidor. All right, let's zoom out. The name of this art tool, guys, is called a Tortillon, okay? And it's if anybody ever needs anything, on my website, I have a page called Products We Love, and it has links to Amazon for all this stuff. So here's what I did, you guys. So let me just give you a side-by-side. We'll see how it works. So like this box of Marvel Masterpiece cards is stuck together, you know? So like there's not a ton I can do. But what I have found effective in the past was putting cards in humidity. So like here, guys, I have this at 74% humidity. And I put a chunk of Marvel cards in here earlier today at 6:30, so 4 hours ago. So let's take a look. And I've had success with putting cards in humidity compared to just trying to like let them sit out on the table or whatever. So, you know, I've had this question a lot, and it was like, you know, I'll have guys say I've been advised to put it in the freezer or in the heater or this or that or the other. And, you know, a lot of that sounds like extreme to me. Somebody said a microwave or something. I'm like, no, you know, that's too much. You know what I mean? I just think that you should, what really made them stick together was humidity. I mean, that's the answer to everything card related. So usually what makes them stick together is what makes them come apart. So throughout the years of them stuck to each other with that nice finish, they bonded. So I just took them out in front of us. So let's see how we did. Oh, I can see them moving. Okay, there's one. Sweet. Mr. Fantastic came out. Sinister. Hey, check that out. This worked great, you guys. But there is something I have to show you, and we'll do that next. They're dirty. They're really, that was, hold on, we still got one stuck here. So we got Mojo stuck to Mephisto, but let's just, I guess here's the plan B. Sometimes you got to pull them apart. But that wasn't too bad. It didn't, yeah, I ripped off some paint. See, that's what happens. It sucks, right? But this, let me show you. So see how those came apart pretty easily? I'm not too concerned about all of these, so I'll just give you an example. So here's a bricked up one, like listen. That came apart that was a lot harder, and I just ripped that corner off. So this is a real pain in the ass when this happens, and if it's something you really like. So I don't really want to, but let me show you something. We'll find a card with like a bunch of stuff stuck to the front. Because like, for example, when you take these off, it's hard to catch it on the light. I want to show you guys what I'm seeing. Okay, here's a good one. See see how nasty it is? How it was that, when you guys see this texture, when you see that texture, it's usually from being stuck to another card. So let me show you what we can do. We'll do it a quick 2-step process right here. And sorry, you guys, I didn't look up at the board. I'll look up there too soon. You know what, man? It's like, I don't even need to make a humidor. They already exist. They're great. I made all the card care products because there was nothing consistent in that regard. So it's like, I enjoy being a product manufacturer, but I feel like the humidor is already good. So just buy one, you know? So I'm just going to use a little bit of card spray. And here's what I want you to see. If you can. Like, this was stuck to the card in front of it, and that's why it looks like junk, even though it was brand new. It just opened it out of the box. That's where this stuff comes in handy. I just looked at the monitor and I caught a question. Joe Clark, I'm sorry to report, buddy, but dimples don't come out of the surfaces of downtowns, man. They're just, a dimple on a plastic card, you guys, is made that way. It's like the card is physically made that way, and it's poor manufacturing. And it's like, I imagine that the plastic on the cards is like warm or wet when they place it. And after they do that, a bubble or a dimple forms, and it's just there forever. So I'm only doing half the card because I want you guys to see something. Let me get my microfiber. And this is where the little microfibers are convenient too. So if you guys, like, this is the same, I know I'm using like Marvel Masterpiece here, but this is the same deal for Upper Deck cards. And any cards from these 90s that stuck together. Look at that side, and look at that side. I think I know which side looks better. And that was right out of the box. But that's the way it was supposed to look right there. Not like that. So let's finish this up. So the front looks awesome now. And then to all my Marvel collectors, gaming collectors, even if it's these are Marvel Masterpieces are what, Skybox cards, I think. Yeah, they're Skybox. So like, it's kind of the same materials as all the basketball cards and stuff from back in the day. So let me show you this, you guys. Final step. Once you get that film off the front, whether it's a top stadium clubs, those stick together like crazy, you guys. So like, if you got a brick of them, put it in the humidor for, I just did 4 hours and it was pretty good. I would have let it go longer knowing that that last card was stuck, but you know, pretty darn good. And then, so like stadium clubs, marble masterpieces, any of these 90s cards that, you know, stick together easy. After you get them apart, little card spray to get that junk off the front, and then polish them and they'll look awesome. So let me just finish this up. This is one of my, so look at that now. And I don't think it will be too hard to find one that was like, kind of like a similar finish. Let's see. Like, it sucks that the Captain America is dirty too. But I was trying to give you guys a before and after here. Okay, so look at, if you guys just joined, I was trying to show you where we started. So you see all that crud and junk all over the front of the Deathlock card. So the Sinister looked like it too, but spray and card polish will do the trick. And that was, you know, on a bunch of bricked cards, you know what I mean? You know, so I hope that helps you guys. I get a lot of those questions about cards being bricked together and stuck together. AJ Lock, you said you notice I don't polish the edge. You're right, because I put right up to it and I just wipe right to it. I wipe right up to the edge. Like, I'll give you an example. So like, you know, when you're, let's say like, you know, one of these marble masterpieces, you want to, you know, I'll wipe the card spray all the way to the edge. I'll give you guys another quick example here. That's a good question. And that's why I like doing the live show. I like being able to interact with you guys and you be able to ask me stuff. So you see how the junky stuff is all over the top, all over that, and then we just wiped off there. So it's nice and clean. So what I'll do is just put the card polish almost right up to the edge. I'll get right up to it. Because when you get in there with your towel and you wipe it off, you're going to cover that edge anyways. Because it's not something you need to let sit on there and like, you know, settle in. It'll just get in there and do the job right away and get that surface nice and clean and shiny. So good question, man. Good observation. So like there's the side we just worked on compared to like all the oxidation and shit all over it, you know? So thank you guys for asking the questions. I got asked a handful of times this week about guys opening up old stuff that's bricked together. And I thought to myself, hey, I got some of those. I'll show you. All right, let's get to Ken Griffey Jr., all right? And yeah, man, I think that these cards and this artist, Joe Jusko, guy that I admire a ton. You know, I could say a bunch of nice stuff about him, but I just think he's simple. He's talent. He's ultimate talent. He's a great artist. And no, I'm not a Chargers fan. No, I guess I will be now because Jim Harbaugh's there. So I'm from Michigan. I'm sure that it's nice. I'm sure that it's a nice place to live, though. So enjoy your wonderful, wonderful sunny California. I'm sitting here in cold Michigan, man. No, I don't use the microfibers over and over. Good question. I throw them out. I'm always paranoid that I'm going to scratch a card or something, so I don't like that. Guys, let's do one more, and then we can go back to our Valentine's Day traditions, all right? So this one, you guys, is something that we'll run into, you know, it's just very common, run into corners like this, right? We'll see what we can do to it. But, like, take a mental picture. Like, I thought this would be a good candidate because it's a kick-ass card, man. It's a cool card. And then it's got, you know, just some stuff that at first sight you'd be like, this card's screwed. But I think we got a little room for improvement for it. So let's do it. Lamim, what's up, man? How are you, dude? Good to see you. We got a good crew tonight, man. You better pay attention. Let's check it out. And if you guys, if you don't follow his account, Lamim James, dude, funny dude. Always has cool, funny takes on the hobby. Good ball busting, safe, friendly stuff, and he's a good dude. Yeah, hey, you just missed the humidor, dude. We just did that one. So it was used to get stuck cards unstuck, so you're going to have to go watch it. Okay, so same like what we started, you guys. We're just gonna keep it simple, like going back to the old. We're gonna do straw and card tool, and doesn't need to be a huge process. But what you need to do is analyze it a little bit first, because I don't want to. With paper cards, you don't want to push on them the wrong way, because if you fold them the wrong way a few times, you're gonna have a permanent line. All right, so we got that. It's like split, like you got punched in the nose. It's just split. So let's just, I still think I can just use the straw. I think that will be just fine. So let me zoom in, you guys, and I'll show you what to do. And all of you can do this. M82 Soccer asks, have you ever used a heat gun? For what? Ask me, tell me what you're thinking. Like, for automotive all the time, and to remove stickers and stuff, for sure. So, like, I know those, but not really for card related stuff, but let me know what you're thinking. Maybe you're onto something. All right, so you're gonna see this. It's my straw, okay? This corner, guys, looks like it could potentially get the paint pulled off of it, so I'm gonna use this oversized photo sleeve. It's a 5x7 photo sleeve. We're just gonna make a mini humidor right now. We're just gonna hold in a little bit of moisture on there, a little bit of warm moisture. You guys see that? So, M82, no, man. I've never, like once one of those cards is made, I would figure that it would be like, the plastic layer is so dang thin that I just don't know what you could possibly do. But I mean, if you've ever been successful at something, man, I'm always happy to see other people that are creative do cool stuff. So, you ever got anything good to show me? Show me, man. I'd love to see it. But no, I've always just said dimples are just one of those damn permanent things that you get stuck with the modern era cards. Okay, so here's my angle. I'm going this way, I'm going this way, and I'm going this way. So I just want to, when I come to one of these corners, I just want to just make a little contact. I don't need to smash it down. Move your card. That's one thing you'll find yourself doing, is trying to like twist your body 3 different ways. Don't. Just move the card. Make it comfortable for you. I'm right-handed, so I like to move this way, so that works for me. Let's take a look and see. I might have a crack in there. We'll have to take a look at it. If you guys don't mind, I won't turn it into a huge job. Oh, you want to see a cool card I got? That was my mail day this week. I love this card. And it's very hard to get in a 9. These cards are the most chipped up, beat up cards right out of the pack. So that was my weekly pickup. But let's take a look at this corner real quick, you guys. I want to look at it under the microscope if you're cool with that, because I would like to fix it up really well. Let's just look at what we got going on. We might have a little bit of missing paint. I don't know. A little bit. So hold on. I'm not giving up yet. It might require a little bit more than, I might have to, so hey, I might be a little off. I said I was just going to use the straw. Now that we got it a little bit, it's got a couple twists in it, guys. I just want to use the card spray just a little tiny bit. And right now, this is an important thing to do, or to know. I'm not like going to drop a dot of card spray in here and soak out the corner. That would be too much work. I just want to use it. A little bit of light moisture in there might be able to just get this thing straight. It's like when using card spray, it's like you either dump it all over the thing and like soak the dang card, or just use a little bit like that, where just a little tiny bit so it just dries quickly, but it will give us that little boost we need, typically. I swear sometimes working around my phone can be awkward, so sorry if I'm zooming in at a weird angle here. Hang with me. I can't figure out where to put my face. I'm like bouncing around this phone. I want to work my way down to these right here because look I got the card corner nice and in shape. That's cool, right? Because it was like blown up, but it cracked the paint. And I didn't crack the paint, I guess, but it was just like the whatever bumped the card left that crack line. So it's a good example of like something that's like pretty cool because like you got it back in shape. That's cool, but it sucks that it has a crack line in it. But better than like a punched in the nose corner, back in shape. These ones right here are equally as annoying, but they do not look like they busted up the paint too bad. Let's try those. Same deal, going back to the straw. And if you guys are just joining, man, thanks for jumping in tonight. Working on little minor issues that don't take a super long time, but make a nice difference when you can do them right. And I appreciate you watching, guys. I'm Kurt with Kurt's Card Care. And I wish you all happy Valentine's Day. I send my love. That's better. So it does suck when you get a little crack of paint. I wish I could fix that, but you can get those edges looking better. That was nice. I like Ken Griffey Jr. cards, man. I've always liked this guy. Good dude. And I was lucky enough to be able to watch him play, man. He was one of the guys that I watched when I was a kid, and he was always awesome. All right. Still faintly, got a couple faint little bumps right there still. Let me just see the side profile. Just to help it a little bit, you guys, I'm just going to do a little bit of card spray. Just using a little touch. And I hope you guys don't mind, when I make my videos that I share with you on my page, I kind of boil them down to like, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. But this is kind of just how I work on stuff, so I try to keep it on frame the best I can, and I appreciate you joining me with, these live sessions, and I hope they're helpful for you. And I think we'll get these all the way out. And your first idea, you guys might be like, all right, smash it down, get these things to go away. It rarely, you can hurt a card. You don't want to smash them down. You just want to kind of just work these things back to their original spots, and you'll be good to go. That looks good. Sweet, right? Looks good to me. And we got one more bum corner. Kind of. Yeah, all right, we got one more bad one. I'm going to go back to the old straw technique, you guys, and we'll just check that one out. And if you're watching going, what the heck does the straw do? You guys, these paper cards are soft, but when you can get them a little bit softer with your warm breath, it makes them easier to work with and get back to their original shape without damaging them. It's just been something that I've enjoyed doing a long time. Like, see that? How cool. The drinking straw can fix a corner so nicely. Little tool. We got a little bit of white on there, but how many times have you guys sent me a picture where I'm like, it's got a little bit of white, not much you can do, but let's just get it in good shape. All right. So for the sake of structure, got it back in shape. Just can't get that dang little bit of blue paint back, unfortunately. But do that, you guys. Feel free to get. Oh, my hand just touched something. I mean, this card's probably not gonna be a card I ever get graded, but I was just. There's just like a little bit of junk on the surface. Nothing major. Let me grab the LeBron James. I wanna check out LeBron. This is the card that we did earlier with the same types of issues. Let me put a little card spray on the edge. I just want to see if it worked out nicely. It did. I cannot get this damn card to focus for you guys at all. Trust me, it looks better. I'll get some pictures of it. Had some bumps on the bottom edge. Looks good. So that's your homework. I want you guys to feel free to don't wait for the these issues to happen to something that you really like. You know what I mean? Just go get ahead of it, because if you're a card collector, you know it's gonna happen. You know you're gonna run into plenty of cards with little dings and dents on them and stuff like that. And I think that it was kind of like, I'd say it was always been one of my favorite things to work on. Sorry about that, you guys. I'm just getting organized over here. Got a bunch of stuff on my desk now. But I always enjoyed working on those, you know, and it's always fun to work on the corners and the edges and stuff like that. So feel free to dig into it. And if you need any additional help on any of that stuff, you guys, it's on my YouTube page. I have a playlist called Edges and Corners. So check that out. Everything I do, I know on Instagram, it's hard sometimes to look up specific things, so I'm totally aware of that. And but go to YouTube, click on playlist. I got everything nice and organized. All right. So Insta account. I'm trying to read it. I'm blind. So the question is, how would you handle a dimple on a paper card? On paper cards, you guys, if you get a little dimple, it's not formed the same way. You know what I mean? It's like plastic dimples are formed with like some sort of drying process of the plastic. But a dimple on a paper card would probably be there from something like physically like having impact on the card. So probably card spray or humidity. Either one of those would be fine, you know. You know, that I that's a good question too. Somebody just wrote on the board. Got any advice on how to get a little stain I created while trying to remove a dent? Chances are, if you got a little stain from trying to remove a dent, if you go too heavy with like any sort of like moisture or card spray or anything like that, sometimes, you know, too much is too much, and it'll create like a wet spot. The only way to get a wet spot to go away is, it might sound counterintuitive, but you got to get it wet again, but just lightly, and it will break down, kind of like that hard circle or whatever it left. Feel free to shoot me a picture, man. I'll take a look for you. Well, just here's the thing: if you ever make a mistake working on cards, like say you put too much moisture in, or you let a card's, you didn't dry it properly or anything like that, don't do 3 new things. Like, just stop right there and retrace your last step. You know, you don't want to go too far. You know, so good question though. Kang asks about getting pen marks off of a card. Yeah, Kang, there's a lot of there could be some options. You know, a 95 tops, if it's a paper card, maybe not. But if it's plastic, like if it's a finest or something like that, you can use card spray to get most markers and stuff like that off. If you want to shoot me a picture, it's totally cool, dude. I'll take a look at it for you. You know, so let me take a look here, guys, if there's anything I'm missing. Yeah, that's a good question. How to prep a humidor before using it. Where'd I put mine? I think I put it on the floor here. So, all right. So here's a humidor, you guys. It's made for cigars. I use it for cards. So what this thing is you'll see it has a wooden inlay, and then it has this like cartridge thing over here. You just take the little cartridge out and you fill it with distilled water. And then I get a little spray bottle with distilled water, and I spray all the walls in there, and it soaks into it, and it just creates a nice box that is full of moisture, and it's awesome. And that moisture-rich air will oftentimes help cards. Like, you know what we were just doing with the straw, like getting the corners or edges warm with the straw. If you're like got a card that has like a paper card that has like a dent in it or something like that, and you're like, I can't just sit here and blow on the straw. That wouldn't make sense. But if you put a card in a humidor, a lot of times it can like help expand compacted paper. And then today we used it for getting stuck cards that were bricked together to come apart. So having a humidor is just a good tool if you're a card, you like card restoration. It's just a good tool to have, and they're cheap. They're not expensive, So let me see, guys, if I missed anything. If I missed anything, man, send me a message, you guys. I'll tell you right. I'm gonna tell you what. It's 11. I've stayed on longer than I promised you, so I'll let you guys get to it. I'm gonna crash. I'll be up and at it tomorrow. If you got a message for me, man, hit me with it, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I'm gonna get back out to Fishtown. I got a message on there. Absolutely, this summer. I don't know. I'm not going to be able to, I'm not sure when the next one is. I'm not going to be able to go anywhere until after March. We got family vacations and stuff like that. And, we got a lot of things going on. But I want to come see all of you guys very, very soon. All right. So, and Chad asked about drying a card. Chad, you got to have a good stack of drying mats, because after you soak a card, this is what pulls moisture away from it. So if you just left the same ones on there for a long time, it's just going to be sitting in it. So you got to keep continually pulling them off. I'm getting it updated right now. If you guys, it's kind of like, you'll see it on my website, but I hear my vintage lovers loud and clear. So guys, on my site now, I got a bundle where you get a large spray, a polish. I got like 8 card mats. It all comes together. So I have that. Now, if you're like, hey, I just want to buy my own card mats, I get them on Amazon, but I get so many people that are like, Kurt, I don't want to buy a whole roll of card mat material. Can I just buy it off of you? So I'm not going to turn into a repacker and buy everything for you guys, but card mats I'm cool with. So I do have a package now with like card mats available. Just went up on the website today. And, well, hey, we did it. Happy Valentine's Day. All right. So, take care of yourself, man. Of course, take care of somebody else, and happy Valentine's Day. And this was, this show. I send all my love to my fellow collectors, man. And thanks for spending some time with me tonight. I hope you learned something. And, remember, as always, we're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time. I'm Kurt with Kurt's Card Care. See you guys soon.